Welcome to a Freedom Strider Q&A, and I should maybe change my t-shirt because I'm blending in with the background and the cat's blending in with me. Alright, let's try this again. Ow, stop biting me.
Literally again. Alright, so we just thought we'd just sit down and answer a couple of common questions that we'd be getting now that we've been on the road for 3 months.
Yes, so this is our 3-month anniversary, and there's a lot of questions that are coming in. We thought that we'll just do, you know, a collective video to answer some of the most popular ones. We will not get to all of them, so if you have any more questions or we missed yours, then obviously leave it in the comments below. We'll do a few of these over the coming months, or, you know, they're good filler videos, you know, if you want to take a break, kind of easy to edit, so
thank you.
That'll be appreciated. Alright, so cats are here for your enjoyment. The other one is boiling my leg. Question 1.
Okay.
The most common question we get is, how is it going? It's going good?
It's going excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that it? I don't know what else to say. I'm living in my house, living my best life, so. And we've got cats.
Well, I suppose some of you know that, like, the first trip out into Europe has been a bit bumpy. We haven't really had a holiday, but it has been good. The house has been keeping up with us. We've been able to deal with all the random problems that have come up, including the heater breaking, getting a tow truck, Sam's laptop breaking, getting ill with COVID, and what else happened?
I'm pretty sure some other stuff happened.
Quite a few things like that happened, but none of them really to do with the van. So the van's been doing perfectly, more or less. So yeah, we're good, we're happy, we're not giving up on van life. So yeah, that's that.
This actually, next question rolls on quite well.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
the heater working now? Yes. For those of you who haven't watched the video, go click on it over there. Long story short, the air intake was blocked by water after punching a hole in it, even driving through more puddles and rain. It's been fine.
Though we have been more cautious about going through puddles.
We have, yeah, that has taught us to be more cautious. But
Yeah.
the heater's working perfectly fine.
Yep. How is the underfloor heating working? That is a very popular question we get.
Yeah, so now that it's summer, we're using the heating rarely, if ever at all. But whilst we were in the first couple of months, the underfloor heating, brilliant.
Really good. Because obviously we do sleep on the floor, on our futon, because of the underfloor heating. And even when the underfloor heating is not on, but it's warm outside, kind of 15 degrees onwards, you don't really need it on to be warm, because the you know, the blankets and everything are insulating by themselves.
Yeah.
And honestly, with the underfloor heating, there is some sweating going on.
But yeah, the coldest we've been so far is about -5, -4 when we were in Scotland.
Yes, for a moment.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the difference, because in the underfloor, there are parts of it where we know the underfloor pipe does not go. And when you stand on that compared with the parts that do have the underfloor pipe, there's such a big difference. And yes, we could wear socks.
But the socks really stop my joints aging about 50 years with each step.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
So yes, underfloor heating working brilliantly. Chances are we'll get down to colder maybe this winter, so it'll have
lucky.
If we're lucky, so we'll have a proper test run of it then.
Yes, because I know a lot of you have been waiting for kind of the efficiency video and the infrared. Is it the infrared? Yeah.
The infrared camera view.
Yeah, the thermal camera view, and we will do that. We really want to do that, but we are waiting for winter, because if we post that now and during summer, it's like who really cares? Are we getting off-road tires? Yes, we are, because we keep getting stuck.
We've only got stuck twice.
In what, 3 months? Twice, getting stuck twice in 3 months is kind of a high rate.
Once was my fault. I did drive into sand.
You didn't know it was turning into sand.
We are going to get off-road tyres because we will want winter tyres, and the tyres that we've got on are not winter tyres.
And they're also running, like, the lifespan's going.
Yeah, we were waiting to run them down really low. They're probably about 3 mil tread, so they do need replacing this year.
Yeah, we think we're gonna push it for another 6 months.
As long as we can.
Hopefully we'll get money. And then we'll replace them.
Exactly. In terms of which brand?
Leave your recommendations below. We have ideas, but we haven't decided.
Yeah. Next question. How are the cats doing?
Oh
The cats have basically just taken over.
This is their van.
This is their van. This is not our van anymore. We may have built it, but it's not our van anymore. Perfectly fine with driving, perfectly fine with anything that we decide to do with the van. Open the doors, open the windows, cook, clean. They go to the toilet whilst we're driving. They play in the back whilst we're driving.
They're absolute weirdos.
They play fetch whilst we're driving.
Why? Why not when we're still? Twice now. Twice. It's just... Moving on. So they need to learn to sit, they need to learn to stay, and then to go on command, which they can do. They're just as trainable as dogs are. You just need to put in the time. But yeah, they're good. They're listening. They're listening, and they do come back to the van. They do know, because we have let them out somewhat unsupervised as well, depending if we're in a safe place. And they do come back to the van, and they do come on call, because we do have a food call. So they're doing really well.
They do wake us up at 5 every single morning, though.
No, sometimes it's 3 AM. It's like having a newborn. Not that I've had one, but it's like having a newborn.
Next question. What is your go-to meal in the van?
That really depends as to where we are geographically and what they sell. Because obviously the things in the UK are different, and then we run out of those things. So
Salad.
Yeah, you're right. Tomatoes and cucumber and stuff. We do, and feta.
If you count that as a meal.
I count that as a meal if you have a giant bowl of salad.
Yeah, we just make a giant bowl.
Yes.
Otherwise,
and the what is it, lettuce? The lettuce is is the season for lettuce, so that's really good as well.
Otherwise, simple things that we cook in the van. Pasta, we cook quite a lot of. Anything that
pasta and rice take so much to clean.
Yes.
So we do sort of actually we've cooked a lot of chili because that's kind of simple.
Anything that can fit in the Ramoska, so like pastries or garlic bread or very, very small pizzas.
Jacket potato. We've been making a lot of jacket potato because you just chuck that. We chuck that in the Ramoska for an hour, and as long as there's sun, which there has been recently, we don't even notice the discharge. How do we make a living on the road? Well, at the moment, neither of us has a fixed job. Yeah. My background is in graphic design and illustration, and you do. What do you do?
I do a bit of everything, but mainly like marketing analytics, finance, things like that. I've done a bit of dabbling in mechanics and such.
Yeah, so technically, all of that is fair game, so we can get remote jobs. But at the moment, we're not actually employed by anyone. Yeah. What we're putting all of our effort into right now is actually building a Freedom Strider. And that's not just the channel, that is also our website. So we're releasing a lot of resources on how to do DIY van conversions. As you know, we have a lot of experience in that at this point. And we're putting all of those on our website, and the links are down below in the description, should you be interested in that.
And those resources include everything from like the layout, the planning and the measuring, all the way down to like the heating and the electrics and all of our systems that are in the van. Anything
to do with van builds and really van life, that's how it's going to go. But the main thing we're actually focusing on at the moment is our van build consultations. So that'll be if any of you guys need help with your layout or any van build topic of your choice, then you can reach out to us, and you know, we can help and have a chat about that. Yeah. Again, links in the description. Yeah. But that's it. That's how we make living on the road at present. So
yeah, and at the moment we're basically living on savings and any income that we get from Freedom Strider. Yeah. And throughout this year, I think we're just going to see how it goes, and we'll see where that takes us.
And that being said, I would like to take this opportunity to ask you guys if any of you have a van that is like empty, down to the cavities. We are interested in measuring more vans, because some of you may know we measured our van like down to the minutest detail for our own purposes, and then I tidied that up, and now we have launched the van conversion Sprinter Crafter layout planner. Yep. And that's kind of one of the main resources we are doing, and we would like to replicate that for other vans, because there's been a lot of requests for like Aveco Daily, the Boxer vans.
The Peugeot Boxer Citroen Relay type vans, the Ivecos, the new Crafter, and other ones like that. Medium wheelbase, low top roof, all of that. So if you have a bare panel van, let us know.
Let us know, and I'll leave a link to the survey of which van you want measured down in the description below. So if you want to request a van to be measured, fill that in. Okay, moving on.
Do you mind not attacking that?
No, we don't. We don't eat that. We don't eat cables. No, no, we don't.
But it has string around it.
Oh, oh, it's a little baby. Okay, moving on.
How's the composting toilet working out?
Excellent segue. It's receiving a lot of pooping.
It is. The short story is, it's fine. It doesn't smell. It lasts, the pee tank lasts about 3 days.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
We pee a lot. That's a 7 litre tank?
7 litre tank, and that lasts 2 of us 3 days, 4 at a push. And the poop bucket lasts about a week before we have to change the medium.
Yeah.
And again,
but as soon as you close the lid, you don't get any smell. When you open it, as the week goes on, you start to get more of an earthy smell. And because it starts composting, like towards the end of the week, like the process starts occurring there, so there's some sweating on the walls, some mold starts to grow in the medium itself. It's warm. It's warm, and all of these details. I don't know whether you want to know this, but you're gonna know this.
The question.
Yes. So basically, that's what happens. But that's normal. That's good, because that means that the process is starting to occur, and the fact that the mold is growing and stuff, it actually changes the smell from, you know, poop mixed with sawdust to compost. Yeah. And that's what you want, at least as far as I'm concerned. I'm fine with it. And when you close the lid, it's perfectly fine. There's no smell whatsoever. And
the one thing that we found with the pee tank is that if you add a little bit of white vinegar when the tank is empty, when you pee into it, the pee was the one that was smelling in the beginning, and when you add a little bit of white vinegar after you've washed out the tank, after you've emptied it, no smell. Next question is, what's happening with your shower? Yeah, we didn't really address this too much in the final phases of the build, because we kind of just wanted to get it done and go.
Yeah, and there's still sort of a big question mark as to what's happening there. In honesty, there's a pin in it, because the camping shower is working well enough for us to basically just get on with it.
Yeah, so I'll leave a link in the description to the camping shower that we found that works for us. Yeah. The trigger head and everything is brilliant. Yeah. And literally we just heat some water, fill up a bucket, put the submersible pump in and shower. And because our shower room is completely waterproof, it doesn't really matter where the water goes.
And also we find that we shower maybe every 4 to 5 days, like a full body shower. Yeah. And we washed our hair. Well, Sam has to pretty much wash his hair every day because it's weird. As soon as he lies down on it, it just sort of flowers. It flowers wherever he's put pressure on it, and nothing fixes it unless he puts some water and soap on it. So that's like an everyday thing. I wash my hair every other day.
Yeah, but again, we can just wash our hair in the sink. The sink is big enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Actually, that leads on to a good segue. There was a question later on, but may as well answer it now.
Right.
How do we heat water?
We heat up water generally with our Jetboil. With our Jetboil. So we don't actually use that much water to do a full body shower. We use about 1 liter to do our hair in the sink, but we use about 2.5 liters of water each to do like a full body shower, because the trigger head is very water saving. Yeah. So
that's the Jetboil. It's basically like a mini gas kettle, we call it. So it's got those screwable gas canisters on the bottom. We bought this about 5 or 6 years ago. It's meant to be used as like a little camping type water heater, but it heats. How large is this? This is 1 liter, so it heats 1 liter of water in about 1.5 minutes.
About 45 seconds sometimes. Depends.
Yeah, and that's a whole liter of water, and it's been brilliant. And the good thing is, because it's designed for camping use, it just packs down real small.
Yeah.
And there you are. I also make tea in this. We boil water. You can cook pasta in there as well. Yeah. And anything, boil eggs, all that. So essentially, we kind of use it for everything. I will say, on the water heating topic, we do have a plate heat exchanger connected to our heating system. So the glycol side...
And we fully intend to use it.
Exactly. The glycol side is plumbed up, but we just haven't connected the water side up to it yet. But it's
yes.
ready.
It's ready to go. We just need to find space for the pipes, because out of all of the utilities, plumbing is our weakest point at the moment.
Yeah.
And we didn't, because this is our first big van build, the first house we're really building. We didn't really accommodate for that much room for said pipes, so we're just gonna have to work it out. But at the moment, my priority is to have a holiday.
And then we'll get to fitting
and
the
then
hot
maybe
water.
towards winter,
Yeah.
once we've thought about it and we've filled up our cups a bit, then we'll do it. In terms of, is it going to be a recirculating shower? I still hope that it will have some recirculation system in it, but I think the fully, like the complicated, the full kitted out recirculating shower might be reserved for the upgraded version of this van whenever we do another van build.
Whenever.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, so yeah, I'm still hoping that it's gonna be, but I'll think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is, how is electric cooking going?
I love it.
I love it.
It's amazing.
We only actually, I'll go and get them. We only recently bought a new induction hob.
Yes.
Actually, I should say 2 new induction hobs.
Yeah.
So these are the Van Gogh Sizzle. They're
Sizzle.
about 40 quid on Amazon. We got 2 of them, 2 single
Yeah.
hobs.
Well, I like cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as there's sun around, electric cooking is perfectly feasible.
Yes.
And we have a lot of recharge power through our solar panels, which are 540 watts. Ha. Yeah, so, and obviously we have the Remoska, and
Yes.
technically we can run an air fryer or a microwave. You already showed it.
I'm the display person.
Are you? Yeah, so technically we do have the electrical capacity to run a bigger sort of a microwave or an air fryer. We don't have one yet. But
Not that we have space to store one yet either.
I know where to put one.
Brilliant. But yeah, the induction cooktops are great because, as we said, in the summer we don't want to be pulling out and gas going up as what it is. Electricity for us is free, so we may as well use it. And these cooktops are great because they're only 800 watts, but that's plenty enough to like cook chicken and boil water and everything. And they don't pulsate, which
Yes.
basically means the other one that we had was 1000 watts all the time, even if you put it on the minimum setting. And what it did is it just turned on for a moment and turned off, which means
Yes.
when you're boiling water,
It kind of looks like bubble, bubble, still.
Still.
Bubble, bubble, still. Yeah.
and
so-
that's so much of a problem. But what is a problem if you want to run that and then another electrical appliance at the same time, like our toaster, and in which case we blow our 2000 watt inverter's trip,
Breaker.
and then we have to go and reset it. But these you can put all the way down on setting 3.
Yeah.
It only draws about 400 watts.
Yeah, so
Brilliant.
yeah, so for context, we have, because some of you may not know, I know some of you do, but bear with me. So we do have 200 amp hours of battery capacity, which for this sort of cooking, the way we're doing it at the moment, it seems to work just fine, especially when you have decent sun. We have done electric cooking when there's been more cloud cover, and that does reduce our overall capacity. So like, you know, if there's like 2 or 3 days in a row that are cloudy and we don't drive and we insist on doing electric cooking, then, you know, day 1 we start on 100, day 2 we'll start on 80, then day 3 will be on 60. So it kind of drops. So you have reduced capacity essentially over the days. But given that we usually move after every 2-3 days anyway, it's usually fine.
And we have a 50 amp battery to battery charger. So
Yeah, so
worst comes to worst, we just turn the van on for an hour.
yeah, and I find that come winter, it will be only about 4 to 3 months maybe that we'll have to then rely on our gas stoves at the moment with our current capacity.
Yeah.
So it seems like a good deal to me.
Okay. Up, do not steal my seat. I just got up to reset the camera.
Okay, moving on. So what is the best part about the van? Well, that it moves, that it's my house, and
That we have cats in it.
the cats. I've been outranked.
Oh yeah.
So have you, by the way.
Oh no.
You're no longer the best creature of the household.
I know.
So yeah, because we built everything in the van ourselves for us, and if we don't like it, we change it. It's really hard to pick what we like best. So yeah, the cats.
On the flip side, what's the most annoying part of van life so far?
The chores. As well, it's just, I don't know, it is part of van life, you know, and it is determined, like how often you do the chores is determined by your capacity, so like your water capacity, your toilet capacity. But sometimes if, for example, like with us, because we have had kind of a rapid experience of van life, we haven't really had a moment to kind of slow down and put the brakes on for like a week or two. We've always had like just a snippet of a holiday.
Yeah.
It's sort of the chores kind of sneak up on you because like, oh, you're dealing with this problem and this problem, oh, and then
you've run out of water,
and then you've run out of water because you're like, it's like you're about to relax because you fixed whatever, the broken laptop. And then, oh, I now need to spend my day doing the toilet, doing the water, probably getting more food or something like that. So it's kind of those little bits, and there is kind of the strategizing, that word. For example, if you want to go from A to B, but B is somewhere really remote, you have to then plan how much supplies you have and what you can pick up on the way.
Yeah.
And
so you need to make sure you have enough water, the toilet's empty, and then by the time you get to B, there may be no internet, so then you have to decide, well, do we stay here and have no internet for a day or two?
Yeah, it really depends.
Or do we move somewhere else?
And the internet really depends on whether it's time to work or not.
Exactly.
So it's kind of those little nuances that you just have to, I guess, learn, and then they'll kind of become second nature as you continuously do them. It's just at the moment that will be the most annoying part.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
oh, here's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Anything that you wished you had taken with you during your first trip out?
More breakfast bars.
I would agree.
You would know what I mean if you've watched month 2. If you've watched our vlog, you will know how dire of a situation it got with the breakfast bars.
She asked me to try and cook some.
More breakfast bars. So next time we leave, I'm gonna be buying probably a year's worth of breakfast bars. I don't know where to store them, but I'll be getting them because I don't know what else to eat for breakfast.
Back to the breakfast again.
It's a big problem when you're weird.
Yes, it is. You're weird. It's a big problem for you.
You eat raw mushrooms, you're weird.
I eat everything.
That's not true. You don't eat watermelon or cooked mushrooms.
The more you know about me. Is there anything we wish we had done before we left?
I don't know.
No.
We stubbornly stayed put, even though we really wanted to leave until kind of the major parts were done, because we were like, well, I really don't want to do that on the road, or some things we couldn't do on the road, especially with deliveries and other bits and pieces. So.
And then anything...
Not really.
I'd say anything minor along the road as well, we just tinkered and fixed as we did it. Or things like the heating, we just had to fix on the road.
That being said, hold on, I'm trying to get a notebook.
You're not going to be able to get it with your foot. Maybe she is going to get it with her foot. You know, she could have got up by now and gone to get it with her hand, but no. She decides to get it with her foot. Still struggling. Just flip the desk up.
Shut up. Ha!
That was with your hand, not your foot.
That's not true. You know my foot passed it. Don't you lie. Right. What were we answering?
Anything we wish we had done before we left.
Right. No, but now that we've experienced like 3 months of van life, we now have a very, very, very long upgrade list. So there's a lot of that to be done. Some of it we'll film, some of it we won't, because some of it is just like mini tasks.
Fix that little bit, fix that light.
Yeah, like fix the pump. Oh, we've done fix the pump.
We have.
That's exciting. So...
No, but yes.
I'm just thinking. I mean, okay, I suppose putting at the desk would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, putting up the desk.
Yeah, because this desk is still not up technically. We still have to store it at the back. So yeah, because it's supposed to be just a flip up, fold down desk.
It does not do that at the moment.
Yeah, which means that essentially its function is somewhat reduced because it's subject to us being bothered to pick it up from the back. It's a relatively heavy desk, so you know, I suppose attached things are supposed to be attached. Is my advice. Okay, so how long does the diesel heater fuel last?
About 24 hours.
24 hours, and that's roughly about 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, so we use about 1/4 of a litre an hour with our heater. So.
It's about 3 days, so when it's like 0 degrees, because it changes throughout the year, and it can last like 2 weeks during the summer because you don't really use it.
Do we regret not installing LPG in the van?
No.
No.
I mean, for many reasons, but obviously LPG is climbing in price now.
And getting rarer to find.
But I still don't want to deal with gas. I want to do things myself, and I want to be able to fix the things that I install, and I really don't want to deal with pressurized gas. Yeah, those type of pressurized systems. So, no, I don't.
We answered the hot water one.
Yes, yeah, that's done.
How is driving in Europe with a UK vehicle? I personally, because I'm the one who does most of the driving, I was somewhat terrified.
I would say it was a team effort because he'll be driving and he'll ask, oh, where am he'll ask like, oh, which side? Where am I? And I'll say, your side. Yeah. So that was kind of a shortcut to say that he needs to be on kind of his side of the road. This is so complicated to explain when you're not in my head. So when you're driving on the correct side of the road with the steering wheel on the correct side for the direction of movement, right?
Yes, that's one way to say it.
Yeah, the driver is in the middle of the road, so that's like his side. So he is nearer the line. So when he's on the other side, I say your side. I don't know. It worked for him.
And it works for you.
Don't copy us if this makes no sense whatsoever. Basically, we have like a key phrase that both of us would associate with the right positioning, essentially.
The only thing that was more difficult were which turning would it be left turns or right turns? The one where I couldn't see. I'd have to like look round and I couldn't see.
Whichever one. I don't know.
It'd be right turns. And I asked Polly to look to see if there was anyone coming.
So I'll be the one saying go. Like it's clear now. I did drive the van on the outside of the road. Coincidentally, my first driving experience on the outside of the road was solo, and it was right after the van had been released from the garage in France. And as usual, I learned to drive in the most inconvenient moments in time. And though it was terrifying driving onto the motorway, so you catch the slip road, and then these trucks just whizzing past me and not letting me in, and I couldn't see them coming because, as Sam says, there's a blind spot when you know you're on that side. So yeah, that was terrifying, and it's a good thing I didn't pull out when I was thinking I should pull out, because there was a truck. Cause I find that in Europe they're not as courteous on the motorways. Yeah. At least in France, I didn't feel like they were. I feel like in the UK, there's a more kind of a custom that people will pull away into the inner lane to let the people coming onto the motorway to speed up and join. I didn't experience that.
2 questions left. What weight of the van?
The weight is the 3.4.
Yeah.
Moving on.
That's fully loaded. Both of us in it, full tanks of everything. We're 3.38 tons. And, well, actually this rounds it off quite nicely. Is there anything else you'd change?
Okay, obviously we've got the cats now, so we need to do some catification.
Yes, I love that phrase, catification.
Yes, so we're launching, what is it, Project Catification or something.
Yes.
No, Operation Catification, that's what you wanted to call it.
Because these little creatures decide that everything made of wood they must claw, everything made of fabric they must touch and claw, and anything that they're not allowed to climb, they must climb.
She's sleeping. She's like sleeping.
And everything that they've reached every single place in the van. They've gone up there. They've gone on top of the desk. They've gone up in the headliner shelf bit. They've gone under the couch.
They've gone everywhere where they shouldn't. and they're the best burglars I've ever seen.
So now we know what we need to do. Isn't
Yes.
that right?
Yeah, so I don't really mind them climbing on the shelf and stuff, and they, like, we've hidden their food and stuff, so they're fine. But there are a few things like they wake us up in the middle of the night, and we would like to have the opportunity to put them essentially in the other room.
I thought you were going to say we would like the opportunity to go to sleep.
I would also like that, but because we would like to go to sleep, we would like to be able to basically put them in the other room. We don't need to basically separate ourselves from them every night, but like if they wake us too early, we would like to be like, okay, it's too early now, go in the other room. So we're going to be building a door
To divide the van into two.
divide this in two.
I think I'd like to rearrange some of the storage a bit as well.
Yes, now that we know what kind of we would like to use and where things will be more efficient, I would like to put them in those places, because at the moment things are in piles and in sacks and in boxes still, but kind of hidden away in the storage volume. But it's not as efficient as it can be, and as you might expect, the more you live in the van, the more you find out what you need and where to put it.
Yeah.
So those are the main bits, really. Obviously, put up the desk.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think that pretty much rounds up the Q&A at the moment.
the van is
working good.
Working as expected, really. So.
Indeed.
My God, they're adorable.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I know.
How can you be so adorable? Oh, so cute.
So yeah, if there's any other questions that we didn't answer or you would like the answer to, then leave them in the comments below. And maybe in a couple more months' time we'll make a part 2 Q&A, depending on where we are and what we're doing. Yeah,
we'll do that. Actually, there are more questions, but I actually just picked
the most common ones.
Well, the most current ones, the ones that are more relevant to today, but there are more, so we'll probably need to do a part 2 soon anyway. This description is going to be very full of links, so do go investigate to see what concerns you. But yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you later.
Meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Are you?
She's asleep. She's dead asleep in his arms.
No, she's... I need to go and turn the camera off. Can I go and turn the camera off?
No.